Hi, Carol Beringer, another segment of Amazing Movement here. And as we know, amazing movement are unremarkable movements with remarkable benefits. And today we're going to work on shoulder bridging. And shoulder bridging is great for getting in touch with the back of our bodies because everything happens in front of us and the back side of our body just doesn't get invited to play the same way as the rest of us. So shoulder bridging is very effective for strengthening the low back, the hamstrings, the glutes, so much that gets neglected. So we're going to come onto our back with the arms long at the side, wide through the shoulders, long through the neck, and then lining up the heels with the sitting bones, the bony protuberance. So you probably could pass your hand between your inner thighs. First thing we're going to do is put the hands on the low belly and just rock the pelvis back and forth, pressing the curve out and then accentuating the opposite curve. And this is just to warm up. Our neutral spine, when we're laying on the ground here, would be where the fingertips, the butt of the palm, and the thumbs are all in an even plane. So that's a neutral pelvis. And that will mean that you have a small arch in your low back called a lordosis, which we need to have in our spines to absorb shock as we walk on the planet. But we're going to work through that to build some strength. So we're going to plant the feet, and you want to feel the weight of the big toe. We're going to tend to want to roll out sometimes if we have tight hip sockets, but that's going to engage the inner thighs. So now that we have this neutral, we're going to take the arms at the side, palms pressing into the mat, and we're going to tip the tailbone up towards the back of the knees. We're going to reach the knees forward towards the toes, and then just open the hip sockets up towards the ceiling, and then recheck the big toes, because that's where we'd have a tendency to let it go, and that really shows that you have tight hip sockets. So right now you might get a hamstring cramp because we just don't allow the hamstring to come to the party like this. And then reaching the knees forward long through the front of the body, sink the breastbone, sink the ribs, keep that tailbone tucked up towards the back of your knees to roll through your waist, and then lengthen the sacrum and tailbone. It's going to point down between the heels. All right, let's do it again. Press the curve out of your low back, tip the tailbone up towards the back of the knees, reach the knees over towards the toes. And you don't want to pop your ribs up. You want to lift the hip sockets. And then here we can take the arms up to the ceiling. So if we inhale to raise the hips, exhale here, inhale to reach back, and exhale, keep reaching the arms back that way as you pull the spine down this way. Then let's do some fancy footwork with this bridge. So anytime you need to reorganize, do it, because you want to have the best position to start in. And as you get better, your heels will come closer into your glutes. Curl the tailbone up, reach the knees forward, lift the hip sockets to the ceiling, and then lift your heels 7 times. Push down through that big toe side as you lift the heels. If you get a hamstring cramp, you don't be surprised. And then up on the toes, keep the heels raised as you roll your spine down. So, not that it's a proven theory, but my story to myself about cramping is wherever we do not fully use our muscles, tendons, ligaments, and fascia, they are dehydrated because when we lengthen, old fluids are squeezed out, and when we shorten, the new fluids are pulled in to hydrate any part of your body. And we don't get enough action back here because the front of the body takes over all the time. Let's do one more where we curl the tailbone up towards the back of the knees. So that's my story about the dehydration. And your arches can also often get cramped lifting the heels like this. So we're going to lift the heels and put them down. 3 to go. Pushing down into the big toe side. Keep the heels up. See if you can take the arms up. Reach them back. Now your calves are really fired up. You might have the same thing happen to your calves, get a little cramp or a big cramp. And then pull yourself down, lower the heels, bring the arms to the side. So when you get cramps in the back of the legs, so you flex the foot and lengthen it out and breathe into it, and you can also do some pointing and flexing. But anyway, shoulder bridges are pretty powerful, and there are many, many, many versions of shoulder bridging, but that's a good start. Hope you join us next week.